What is going on, boys? Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me okay? This is not the circumstances in which I wanted to start my first live stream from the new place. But it is what it is. But I need to know if you guys can hear me all right. I'm doing this from my phone. The sound quality will not be as good, but as long as it is listenable, I will do the stream. If it is unbearable, if it is unlistenable, I will shut it down. So just let me know. Just let me know. What's going on, man? Talk to me. How's the sound? Is the sound okay? Is the sound listenable? It's from my phone. I don't have Wi-Fi yet, so I can't do it from my computer. Just need to know if the sound's okay. Noah says thumbs up. Good enough for me. What's going on, Noah? How you doing, my friend? How you feeling today? Sweet. Nick says good. Sweet. How we doing, boys? Well, I am, in fact, broadcasting from the new place. Made it to the Eastern Shore of Maryland safe and sound. I do not have Wi-Fi yet, so I had to do this from my phone. But yeah, here we go. I'm just gonna do this from my phone until I get my internet set up, and then I can do it from my computer again. Nick says he's feeling good. I'm glad to hear that. Good to see you, boys. Yeah, man, I've not quite set the studio up properly, but I do have a nice, decent sized room that I will do the studio in / man cave / the other, yeah, like I had before. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Good to see y'all. Dude, let's talk about this fucking UFC 260, man. Let's talk about this shit. Fuck, man. I don't have another device. I don't have anything, man. But I remember enough of the fights. I did watch the Stipe and Ngannou fight literally before I turned this on. So I do kind of have that fresh in my mind. I want to spend most of this stream talking about that. But I do have to eat some crow. I definitely have to eat some crow. And I remember sort of one of them. The other one I don't really remember, but that much. But I remember the ending. So let me do that first. But before I get ahead of myself, thank you, Nick and Noah, for being here. I appreciate y'all. Thank you to anyone else that will stop through. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, it definitely helps a small channel like mine get visibility or keep visibility, whatever. But yeah, so let me get to this first bit of crow. Let me just jump off the let me just get this first bit of crow out of the way off the rip. Appreciate it, Noah. Yeah, it sucks, man. And we yeah, I won't really get into it, but yeah, it was not quite what we expected. All in all, it's a good move. All in all, we made a good move. It just wasn't quite what we expected, but it's definitely a bigger place. Um, Pretty damn close to the beach, less than an hour from the beach. So I'm not too upset. But it's been super stressful, long. I mean, y'all know, if y'all move before, y'all know how it goes, man. It fucking sucks. But we're here, man. We made it, and yeah, got my room to broadcast from. So here we are, UFC 260. Man, I did pretty darn good on this card, man. I've definitely I mean, I went 8-2. Um, but the first bit, I went I 5-0 in the prelims. I went 5-0. I'm trying to remember all the fights in order. So the first fight was Marc Andre Barrio Barrio knocks out Abu Azaitar in the third round? I think it was the third round. Sorry, forgive me. I don't have anything in front of me. I don't even have the Google stuff in front of me. Um, I don't. The signal. My internet has been dodgy. Um, so oh man, I forgot. Fuck, I forgot to tag this guy too. Apologies again to MMA Oracle. I wanted to have him debut, make his proper debut, but I want to do. I'm gonna wait and do that until I get my Wi-Fi and shit. I didn't know how the sound was gonna be, and I fucking forgot to even tag him in this goddamn thing. So Oracle again. I'm sorry. Apologies. He's probably doing a fucking a class or something right now. I think he's a kickboxing instructor, but. Man, I do want to have him debut on this channel properly, but go check him out, man. Check out the Oracle. MMA Oracle on Twitter. I can't remember if he has a YouTube channel or not, but at some point, I swear to fucking Christ, MMA Oracle will make his debut on this channel in a proper way, and we will talk about this shit. He wanted to come on and talk about this card. And we can definitely, if he wants to come on like tomorrow or something, if I have my fucking Wi-Fi. But yeah, man, I've been a mess. My life's been a mess. Just got we're not even I wouldn't even really say we're settled here. We had to do a lot of cleaning that we didn't think we would have to do to even, you know, fucking sit down. So anyway, but yeah, apologies to MMA Oracle. Go ahead, check him out on Twitter. And I do at some point soon, hopefully this week, would like to have him make his debut on this channel. But anyhow, any old how. Yeah, Marc Andre called that one. He knocked out. I didn't call the knockout. I think I predicted him by decision, but can't really remember. But yeah, I did call Marc Andre Barrio. Power bar got the job done. I'm trying to remember the next. I think the next fight. I don't even remember, dude. I remember the prelim fights. Oh, I do want to say this. And shout out to the boys at Pub Sports Radio. I was watching the Fight Companion, and while I was watching the prelims, and I watched the. I want to talk about briefly the Mikhail Oleksiejczuk and Modestas Bukauskas fight. I want to talk about that briefly. Yeah, dude, you were on Power Bar too. No, that's what's up. That's tight. Theme of the card was fade the old guys. Yeah, it's one of those things, man. And I will definitely talk about it at the main event when it's main event time. But like, Father Time is he's just undefeated for a reason. They just say he's undefeated for a reason. And that definitely played a factor in this one for me. But we'll talk about it. We'll definitely talk about it. Appreciate it. Yeah, we got here, man. We made it. We made it to the other side of the bridge. We're out here. Well, it's not really an island, but we're out here on the peninsula, less than an hour from the beach. Nice big apartment. You know, it wasn't really like ready like we thought it would be. We had to do a bunch of cleaning that we didn't think we'd have to do. But there's a lot more space here, man. There's just a lot more space in this apartment. And yeah, it's on the top floor, close to the beach. Can't complain too much. Anyhow. Um, yeah, but so what was if anyone has the um let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can share this without it messing up the stream too much, messing up the quality of the stream. Okay. Says I'm still my audio is still going. So but yeah, I did with picks I did pretty well, man. I went 8-2. Good to have. I've been have a nice little winning streak going here. I think I did 7-3 the two cards before this, and then 8-2 on this one. So I've definitely had a lot worse of stroke of luck than that recently. So can't complain, man. Can't complain. Did pretty well on this card. Okay, yeah. And it wasn't the exact. Okay, I skipped over this fight, and I'll get back to it. But since I already brought it up, the Oleg Zaitchik and Modestas Bukauskas fight. Now, to me, when I watched it the first time, and I think I said it in the pub chat. So shout out to those boys at PSR. They did a great job, man. As always, they had a nice big panel. If I try and shout out everyone that was on there, I'll forget somebody and look like an ass. So yeah, but shout out to them, man. They did a great job. Great stream. But when I originally watched it, I said, you know what? I thought maybe Bukauskas got robbed. So I went back and rewatched it. And I feel like Oleg Zaitchik getting the nod was the right decision. Now, Bukauskas landed several, like, I wouldn't say several, like at the end of every round, especially 1 and 2, he landed like a significant strike that kind of stood out. And the rounds were relatively close. I wouldn't say that like Oleg Zaitchik dominated him, but they were close rounds, and he was landing a lot of like Oleg Zaitchik was landing that like left hand, that like looping left hand, and he was doing the steadier work. He was doing the more consistent work, and I feel watching it back that he won the first 2 rounds. Third round, I don't know. You can maybe give that to Bukauskas. But I definitely, looking back at it, I gave 1 and 2 to Oleg Zaitchik. So that's kind of what I thought about that one. And I don't really blame anyone for feeling like Bukauskas might have edged it, but I had Oleg Zaitchik. I thought that I got away with one there. Like, I'll definitely take it, but I feel like, Bukauskas got robbed. But looking back at it, nah, man. Mikhail won that fight. He would press forward the whole time, and he landed he was landing some really like good strikes that were snapping Modestas's head back. And I don't know, man, the commentary was really weird on that one, but I definitely watched it the second time with the commentary off, and I was like, yeah, it wasn't hard to score the second time. I'll put it like that. But yeah, yeah, I am too, man. I am too, because Oleg Zaitchik, he's unassuming, man. Mikhail Zaitchik, he doesn't look like much. Like if you're going at it like based on how they look, man, like Modestas Bukauskas looks like, kind of like a superhero out of a comic book, and Oleg Zaitchik just looks like some like average barrage, But man, he can crack, dude, and he definitely was not deterred. He just marched forward the whole time, and I mean, Modestas did rock him a couple times, but the commentating made it seem like he was a lot more hurt than he actually was. He got rocked. He'd stumble back, and then he'd regain his composure, kind of like Bukauskas. But I felt that Mikhail did that more times and rocked and stunned Bukauskas more times. And I felt that with that and the fact that he was pressing forward the whole time, and Bukauskas really was just like on his bike, he was on his bike too much. So I gave Mikhail the first 2 rounds. But yeah, I am surprised that his chin held up, because he was getting cracked. But yeah, credit to him. So let me go back and look at this other. Now, the one I skipped over. Omar Morales defeats Shane Young by unanimous decision. I will give Shane Young credit for the same reason, because he got cracked with some good shots and his chin held up after getting knocked out by Ludovic Klein. Omar Morales is another good striker too. And yeah, I'm not going to shit on Shane Young too bad. Like, there's no love lost with me for City Kickboxing. But I'm not gonna fucking throw salt on an open wound without, or I'm not gonna whatever the expression is. I'm not gonna fucking kick a guy when he's down on that one. He credit to him for hanging tough against a really good striker in Omar Morales. But yeah, Morales clearly won that fight. And yeah, so I'd like to see what's next for him. Shout out to old Jackie Boy. Shout out to my dude Jack Attack MMA and Guru. They did their show on Guru's channel, and I'm sure Jack will premiere it on his channel as he is one to do, and they've been doing, or she's been doing the last couple few. So be sure and check that out. Now we're talking about Omar Morales, talking about Oleg Zaychek. So congrats to both of them. I did pick them correctly. I picked this next one correctly as well. Abu Bakar, however you pronounce that, Nurmagomedov, styles on Jared Gooden, man. I was really impressed with I think they call him Manop. I think that's his nickname. I think that's his what he goes by. But man, Manop his boxing was looking crispy. He was slipping and ripping. Like Gooden was doing the posturing, but he would just get punched. Like Manop was the one that was actually like slipping the punches and being in position to counter. So I was very impressed with his striking. Dude, he wasn't just like a crazy like he looks crisper on the feet than Khabib. And he has power too, man. And he, credit to Night Train for holding up because, dude, Manop is a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter, and he's shown an improvement on the feet. So I was impressed with that, man. I felt pretty good about him before, but I thought it would. I didn't predict the fight going down like that. I thought it would be just a wrestle fucking, and it was a fucking striking clinic kind of. So yeah, credit to him, man. And yeah, credit to Gooden for holding up, for being able to withstand the punishment. But big credit to Manop Nurmagomedov. He did the damn thing. And you know what? Alonzo Minifield did the damn thing too. And honestly, man, like I was picking William Knight to beat Minifield. But that was a really close fight. This one, man, like I don't think anyone that I know picked Sharon or Charant, but if you did, like, come on, man, like y'all know better. Y'all are better than that. I mean, Alonzo Minifield, and dude, I thought it was going to be a knockout, but he fucking Von Prude him. He Ovin St. Flued him, man. He Charant would not let go of that fucking guillotine. He wouldn't let go of the guillotine. And Minifield said, all right, just reached his arm underneath, brought the other one around, and that's all she wrote. Got the tap. He wasn't going to take a nap. He got the tap. And Sharon was supposed to be the submission expert, but I mean, when are guys gonna learn? If you are stubborn with that guillotine and you've got a big, strong dude like Ovin St. Preux or Alonzo Minifield, and you hold on to that guillotine, dude, they're gonna reach around and reach underneath, and they're gonna give you the pinch and give you that Von Preux. So that was a great submission by Alonzo Minifield. Did not see it going that way, but that was tight, dude. That was fucking sick. Yeah. I didn't either, man. I didn't either. Sweet. This is sweet, man. This is dude, doing the StreamYard, controlling the StreamYard chat from my phone is so much easier than doing it from my computer. Yeah, he did, dude. He did. And hell, that dude, there's somebody else that learned from their loss too. We'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that. But yeah, I did not see Gooden getting outboxed. I thought if anything, he would be the one to maybe knock Manop out, but Manop said, "Nah, son, I'm the fucking boxer here. I'm the fucking boxer here. You think I'm just a wrestler? You think I'm just like, some Khabib clone? Nah, dude, I got hands. I've got hands." Give me 1 second, boys. But yeah, see what the next fight is. But I went perfect in the prelims, man. It was a good feeling. I haven't done that in a while. But let me see what the headliner is. I can't remember what the headliner was. Get to it in just 1 second. But I appreciate the 3 people joining me. This was a bit of an impromptu. I thought I would have internet today. But and Comcast did get here, but I can't find the fucking cord for the TV, which I think we need to do all the like prompts and shit when we set up the Wi-Fi. So in any case, I apologize if the sound quality isn't up to snuff. But what's up, Mad Dog? What's up, dude? What's going on, man? What's up, brother? How in the hell are you? How you doing, man? Me, I'm fine, thank you. No, I'm just fucking around. So Mad Dog, what did you think of this UFC 260, dude? What did you think of this, man? I enjoyed it. I quite I quite enjoyed it. But let me get to this prelim headliner. Yeah, no, that was the prelim headliner. Man, we already went through the prelims, boys. So yeah, I did go 5-0. That I have not done that in a while. I've done it before, but I have not gone perfect on the prelims for a while. So that brings us to the main card, and that brings me to my first little taste of crow, boys. I had a couple little bites of crow. Went 8-2, but there were a couple little bites of crow in there that I do need to account for. And the first one is this one right here. Now, Jamie Malarkey puts a whooping, dude, an ass whooping on Kama Worthy. Malarkey got hands too, man. He got that Mike Tyson style, dude. I want to talk about the finishing sequence. He was doing the weaving, man, the weaving under the fucking anchoring under the fucking hooks. He was doing a lot of those feints. So what he did was he did a weave feint, and he faked the right hand, and I call it a triple L, a leaping left hook. So it's they call it, I think there's another name for a gazelle hook maybe, but in any case, he faked the right hand to freeze Worthy, and then he leapt forward and like I said, lead hook, because he led with it, and it's his lead hook. He's left-handed, blah blah blah. Well, he cracks him with his lead left hook, and Kama Worthy did the stanky leg, went down, and Malarkey was all over him. There was no Malarkey there. He won't having it, and he got the stoppage pretty quickly after that. I can't remember if it was no nonsense ref in that one. I can't remember. If it was, dude, he was not having any nonsense. And yeah, man, great KO by Jamie Malarkey. I thought it was going to go the other way. I thought Worthy might get the KO, but congrats, man. Damn good win by Jamie Malarkey. Worthy, he's kind of a glass cannon. He does have power, but he also, if you can bink him on the chin, he's going to go down. So yeah, tough to say where he goes, but Malarkey, I'm interested to see. He's got hands, dude. I'm interested to see the next. There's been a couple of these guys where it's they don't have a whole lot of KOs, or they're not really known for KOs or whatever, but they improve their striking. And it's okay, I'm trying to think of who else. They don't have a lot of knockouts. Davey Grant is another one of those guys. I think he only has a couple knockouts in his career, but he's got fucking fuck. Damn, who's the other guy like that? Ige. And there's a couple other guys like that where it's like they're not known for knockouts per se, but they're like heavy handed and they have good boxing. So yeah, I always like seeing that. I'm a big boxing fan, and I love seeing good boxing and sick punching knockouts in the UFC. Anyhow, moving right along. Shout out to the 4 people in the building. Mad Dog says, most satisfying wins. Yeah, dude. Excellent. For sure, dude. Says, great, just recovering from the weekend. Glad to hear it. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm trying to recover from this fucking move. Ruthless on my picks, but I love the fights. Yeah, man. I've had a decent streak the past couple weeks. Before that, it was like I've definitely had a couple 6-6 cards this year. It was like the first couple cards of the year. I think I've definitely had more than a couple 6-6s this year. But yeah. Well, I mean, we'll get him next week, dude. No worries. He's a tough nut Aussie, says Nick. Yeah, he is, man. Hey, dude, those Australian fighters, man. I got to give him credit. Like, I'm a big Max Stan boy, so I'm super salty. I'm a salt never dies salty boy. But Volkanovski, I got to give him credit, man. He's a tough bugger. He's a fucking tough bugger. And fucking Malarkey fucking got hands, dude. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But okay, where are we at, boys? Where are we at? Holy shit, where are we fucking at? Okay, here we go. Miranda Maverick versus Julian Robertson. I gotta tell you, man, I picked Fear the Maverick, but I was sweating. I was perspiring a little bit, particularly in that second round. Holy shit, boys. I mean, Maverick looked great. She outstruck her in the first. Julian Robert came back in second, almost fucking finished her. She took I was like, Christ, Julian's going to take her back and fucking choke her out. But Maverick actually did good, stayed active. And Julian Robertson is a really good grappler, but she's like not a great fighter. Like, she is a grappler to me from what I've seen. Like, if she can get the takedown, she can get the take the back, particularly. Like, she's good with that shit, man. She's a good submission artist, but she's a grappler. And Maverick came back in the third round, won the fight. So Maverick got takedowns of her own in the third round, which sealed her the fight. I was definitely impressed with Miranda Maverick's ability to weather a grappling storm from someone that's known for their grappling, someone that's primarily a grappler. She dealt with that well. She dealt with a very dangerous position, having her back taken by Julian Robertson. That's not like a position where like, oh, this will be fun. Let me get my back taken by Julian Robertson. Just like, ha ha ha, this will be great. That's fucking really dangerous. Like, Robertson is a good grappler. So I was glad to see Miranda defend that and not panic and come back in the third round and do the damn thing. Now, I know Miranda ain't from Virginia, but she living in Virginia. She going to ODU, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it I think it's ODU. It's ODU or CNU or Christopher Newport. I can't remember. God damn it. No, it's ODU. It's ODU. No. Christopher Newport's in Newport. No. She's in Norfolk at Old Dominion. So shout out to Miranda Maverick. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the whole VA, man. 2 up, 2 down. But yeah, man. Fucking Miranda Maverick does the damn thing, man. Fear the fucking Maverick. Fear the Maverick, dude. 132 total strikes. She threw 217 strikes, man. She's super active. She got power in her hands. Credit to Julian for not getting knocked out, and big congrats to Miranda Maverick, man. She keeps rolling, man. Keeps rolling with it. So yeah, you like that? You like that? That's my fucking Aussie accent, dude. That's my terrible Aussie accent. Yeah, man. Hey, I like what I see. I like what I seen from Malarkey. We'll definitely keep my eye on that old boy. But I don't know how two judges scored the second round for Maverick, but yeah, that's crazy. If they gave her a 30-27, they're drinking brew for breakfast. Rude can't fail, but you did if you gave Maverick the second round. There's no way. Julian won the second round. I was fucking sweating my lanky ass off, dude. I really was, man. I was like, God damn it. I was like, Maverick, you look so fucking good in the first round, and now you're gonna get fucking choked out by Julian Robertson. Like, God damn it. But it didn't happen, man. She weathered the storm, and I was for sure straight up impressed. Um, Yet and still. Let's move along, boys. Let's move right along because I do want to spend the majority of this stream talking about the co, and the main event because at 10 o'clock, boys, at 10 o'clock, them, oh, goddamn Arkansas Razorbacks are trying to get into the Final Four. If anyone out there is interested in college hoops, Pub Sports Radio has been killing the game, live streaming, live reacting to these tournament games, boys. This is NCAA tournament. So if you like college basketball, at 10 o'clock, I hope they're still doing it. I think they will be. I will definitely be there running my big old Arkansas mouth. You better believe it. Believe that shit, boys. I will be there. For real. But yeah. Anyhow, that's when the stream will end. Before the Hogs game. Hogs are playing Baylor, and we're gonna send them motherfuckers right back to Waco. Believe that. We'll send them back to you, Noah. We'll send them right back to you, Bubba. You can have them. Hogs already sent Cinderella back to Tulsa. We're gonna send them Bears back to Waco, huh? Huh? All right, enough about that. Enough about all that. But enough about all that. Let's talk about this Coco, dude. Let's talk about the fucking sugar show. Let's talk about the sugar show. What did you guys think of the sugar show, the latest addition to the sugar show? What did you think about it? I'd love to know what you gentlemen thought about that. While I think about this. Nuts. I was scared. I was real scared, bro. Sugar show. What you think about it? 5 people in the building. Shout out to you. I hope the sound isn't too bad. I'm doing this from my phone, boys. I'm doing this from my phone, but I'll tell you what, I'm not even going to lie to you. It is way easier to control the chat and to do straight up like going to other not streaming, but not sharing, but going to looking at like the websites, like the you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it too well, but it's this fucking nugget, man. It's got me all over the place, but in a good way. All right, sugar show. Now, this fight could have definitely been stopped before it was stopped. And I don't even mean like the first time and look. I get that he shouldn't have called his shot and walked away, but like they were saying like, oh, that just cost him the fight. Like he's gonna be real, like, he'll be really upset with himself if, he ends up losing or, it's close or all this shit. Like, I don't think that it's like this. If he had called it right there, in retrospect, that would not have been a bad stoppage. A lot of people would have pissed and moaned about it, but it's like, look what he made him do to Almeida. So, yes, Sean should not have done that, but in any case, I don't think that like it really. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, and I'm kind of like contradicting myself, but in a way, like I don't think that cost him the fight. Well, it obviously didn't cost him the fight, but I don't think they were making more of a bigger deal out of it than it actually was. You know what I'm saying? Like, could it have been a walk off KO, like a walk off stoppage? Sure. There's been worse stoppages, but I don't think that it's like the next shot would have like put him out necessarily. You know what I mean? Like I think Almeida was like I don't know, it's weird. Like the writing was kind of on the wall, but um it's like, oh man, if he had just like followed up, it's like I don't know if that would have actually. I think that could have actually ended up costing Sean. Like if he had like tried to follow up and Almeida like did a grappling scramble and like was able to kind of like weather that or get on top of O'Malley somehow. Like I don't hate that like O'Malley kind of like walked away is what I'm trying to say. I don't hate that. You know what I'm saying? It didn't really affect the outcome of the fight, and it's like look what you made the guy do to Thomas Almeida, because basically Sean just like put a beating on him, and goddamn, by like how brutal was that fucking last ground and pound shot? I mean, he was literally trying to punch his fucking skull through the canvas. That was a brutal like. You know who else used to do that really well? You know who that was reminiscent of? My dude, one of my heroes, the reason that I started training karate do Lyoto Machida. We did that shit to fuck, what's that guy's name? Not Tiago Alves. Was it Tiago? No, not Tiago Alves. Fuck, I can't remember the guy's name. It was some Brazilian dude, and he fucking like just punched his skull through the floor. But that was what O'Malley did. That's what it reminded me of. But it was so brutal, man. Like he just knocked him the fuck out. Like he put all. It was like I'm trying to describe like it's like an over a floor punch overhand, like a GNP overhand. It's so nasty, dude. Um, and yeah, the fucking celebration was filthy. You know, the fucking fadeaway jumper, like just brutal, dude. And it didn't really need to happen. Like I feel like there was a point before that too where he got dropped, and like it's like, come on, dude. Like you're just the writing is on the wall. Like when he dropped, okay, this is when we should have been stopped. He should not have let Sean walk up there and fucking plant one on him, because when he went down that last time, he was not really there, dude. When he went down that last time, he was just kind of like it kind of reminded me of the Jai Herbert one where he just like he didn't fall as bad as Herbert did, but he was just as like out of it, like did not really know where he was not like I feel like I hate when they think that the guy's there because they kind of like half-ass roll to their back in some like, oh, now I'm in my jujitsu guard. Like I feel like that's such a like they're trying to like put their poker face on and show that they're not hurt. But refs, I feel like have got to do a better job of like, dude, if that's like the third or fourth time the guy's been dropped, like that's gonna happen. I feel like that's gonna more often than not you are basically leaving that guy vulnerable to just get fucking blitzkrieged in the face. Because if it's a guy like O'Malley or if it's a guy that's just really vicious, you're just asking for something like that to happen. If the guy's gone down like three or four times, like Smith, like cause he like so you didn't wave it off when he dropped him the first time, but he drops him like the third or fourth time, and you let him like just casually like stroll over there and just boom, just fucking pow, just crush his fucking dome through the floor, and then do a fadeaway fucking like Kobe jumper. Crazy, man. This is crazy. Mark Smith did a terrible job. That was a very, very late stoppage. Did not have to let uh, Sean O'Malley highlight reel Almeida like that. It could have been way less of a destructive stoppage, and it would have been the same result. Like, man, Almeida was not going to win that fight. There's no way in fuck. There's no way in fuck. So that was unnecessary, I feel. But It was kind of tight. Can we all keep it real at the same time? It was pretty tight. O'Malley didn't fuck around, man. Yeah, he's kind of a knucklehead, and he kind of he's very arrogant and full of himself, but let's be real about it, man. He's a fucking good striker. Sean O'Malley is a fucking good striker. And he's another one of these guys where he's not quite as good as his stand boys say he is, but he's a lot better than his haters say he is. That's what I feel about Sean O'Malley. I'm not really a Sean O'Malley fan, but I'm not a Sean O'Malley hater either. I can recognize how talented this Sean O'Malley is, particularly with his hands. Sean O'Malley can box, man. Sean O'Malley did some amateur boxing. He has crispy hands. Like he's getting better with his he was throwing some nasty fucking leg kicks, boys. He was leg kicking the shit out of Thomas Almeida, who's a Muay Thai guy. So yeah, I like what I saw from Sugar Sean for sure. And I mean, he's fucking young. Like he's young and still a little immature. He's gonna do some of that fucking shit, the showboating, a little too much of the showboating, but I also feel like skill-wise, I still feel like he is getting better. I still feel like he is improving. He did show a more diverse, and I mean, he already kind of knew, he's done kickboxing stuff too. He's done amateur kickboxing and boxing. So dude can strike. Excuse me, O'Malley can strike. And he showed that he has a decent chin. Because Almeida can punch, man. Almeida can crack. He has a lot of power, and he landed some clean shots on O'Malley, and O'Malley ate him like a turkey sandwich. So that was good to see. It might be that same one. I think he was the fucking ref. I think he was that fucking ref. That might have been Villel. That might have been Jaron Villel. People get them confused sometimes. Like if you see him from the back, they both kind of have a lighter complexion. So I've confused them before too, especially if it's an angle where I can't really see their face. Once you see their face, you can clearly tell one guy's Mark Smith, one's Jaron Villel, but from the back, they do have kind of a similar complexion. So I get them confused sometimes. But I think that was Villel. But we can go back and check that. But yeah, in any case, they're both not very good refs. I would say that the three worst refs right now, in my opinion, are probably Jaron Villel, and this is no order. This is interchangeable. I'd say it's Mark Smith, Jaron Villel, and Chris Tione. I think they consistently. I've been like, man, those are some sketchy, either some late stoppages, early stoppages. Now I will give Tione I can't because he's so all over the place. And there's been he's terrible, man. He's terrible. He's very inconsistent. He'll have a good stoppage sometimes and he'll have a bad one. And Smith is kind of like that too. Mark Smith is like that too. But lately I've been he'll do okay in some of them, and some of them I'm just like, man, you do, what the fuck were you thinking? And Herb was not bad. Again, Herb. I feel like Herb has recently been getting unnecessary the guy was getting unnecessary praise before. Now I feel like he's been getting some unnecessary flack, and I'll talk about this when we'll get to the main event here in a second. But I don't feel like some of the criticism towards Herb recently, most recently, the past month, I don't feel like it's been much of it. I don't feel like it's been as warranted as it was maybe 4 months before this, or last summer, or something like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But excuse me. I had to wet my whistle, boys. But yeah. So we talked about the Coco. Let's talk about this co-main event. And I need to eat a little bit more of crow. I have to give Vicente Luque a lot of credit. I said some things about Vicente Luque. If you're a Vicente Luque fan, you'll probably say, TC, that was straight blasphemy what you said about Vicente Luque. And allow me to retort. No, I have to eat crow, man. I have to eat my words. I had said, excuse me, I said a few things. One thing that I said was that Vicente Luque, and I still kind of hold this to be true. I still kind of hold this to be true, and I feel like at some point, because kind of what Vicente Luque has done is kind of what Derek Brunson has done. Although I feel like Vicente Luque has way more upside than Derek Brunson and has more youth, obviously, and will be able to, like I said, has more upside, has more potential. I think he will be able to capitalize on things more than Brunson, but um, I still do think that someone at some point will be able to um, take advantage of Luque's some of his defensive shortcomings in the striking department, because that was a crazy fight, boys. And you know what I'm talking about. Woodley versus Luque. Um, and this is where I will give Woodley some credit. I picked Woodley to win this fight. I was wrong. I was wrong about the things I said about Luque. I will elaborate more on that. But just if I could briefly just say this about Woodley, I will give Woodley credit for he at least went for it, man. He didn't hang back and fight completely scared. He did go out on a shield this time. He went out on a shield. He stood in the phone booth. He traded with Luque. He lost. But he fought valiantly. I have to give him credit for that. He put on a good fight. He hurt Luque bad at one point. It was very entertaining for as long as it lasted. It's another instance where Father Time, it caught up with him, man. Like that, if that's Luque, if that's Woodley, if that's Woodley when he fought Wonder Boy, probably knocks Luque out. If that's Woodley a few years back, he probably knocks Luque out with that one, because that first one, he hit him with it. He didn't hit him clean, but when he came out of the gate, he crow hopped and fucking hurled one. He did that little crow hop and he hurled a monster of a right hand, and it didn't really land clean, but it got Luque's attention, and then he hit him again. I think it was another overhand, but he stunned Luque bad, man. He hurt him bad, and I was like, oh shit, T was gonna get it. And then Luque did the same thing to him, and Woodley, like, he did the shit, like he kind of did the fucking, like, he kind of did like a Michael Jackson, like his legs locked up, and yeah, I thought he was gonna get knocked out on his feet. I thought it was gonna be like a Nate Marquardt kind of knockout, like up against the fence or something, but yeah, I can't remember exactly what happened, but somehow he ended up. I can't remember if he dropped him or he just kind of like got him to the ground, but he got the Darce choke in and choke. I think Woodley, it was kind of like a Justin Gaethje Khabib situation where he like tapped and napped, kind of, or like Corey Sandhagen, where like he's tapping but the ref doesn't quite get to it in time, so he taps, and then when he lets go, he's like unconscious, kind of. I think it was one of those. But yeah. Yeah, like, do you want him to literally, like, this? And I'll speak on that. I'll definitely speak on that. Yes, yeah, definitely. He at least went for it, man. He at least went for it. And I wonder, man, you just wonder, like, what if he had done that against Colby? What if he had done that against Gilbert Burns earlier? Now, granted, Gilbert Burns has a lot of power, and Colby puts on the pace of a retard. It's a fucking, like, it's a crazy crackhead pace. Like, so yeah, those are different. As Jackie Boy would say, that's a different kettle of fish altogether. But yeah, sorry, I have a terrible Northern English accent, but shout out to my dude Jack Attack. And imagine at some point Jack will be premiering that aftermatch. Yeah, Jack really has a knack for that, man. Kind of looking at future fights, future matchups. He just kind of has a knack for matchmaking, man. He really does. So check that out. I'm sure he'll premiere it at some point. But if you like, it's on Guru's channel right now, MMA Prediction Guru. So shout out to them, man. They put on a great show. Now, see what we got here. Every objective fan getting a lot of respect back for Woodley. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, for sure. It's like that was the Woodley. That was a bit of the Woodley that was champion. And like I said, yeah, dude, exactly, Mad Dog, exactly. Yeah, he did, man. And like credit to him because he became champion later than some guys do. Especially to not like it's different in heavyweight. You know, the average age for heavyweight champion is obviously a lot higher, but for a welterweight, like to become champion at what, like 34, 35, and then to have titled he wasn't just champion, he defended his title. And he defended it twice against a really good striker like Wonder Boy. He defended it against a really fucking good grappler in Damian Maia. And the young buck and Darren Till, the young hot prospect turned contender. He dropped Till and choked him out. I think he darsed him, right? But in any case, yeah, I think when you look back at the career of Tyron Woodley, it he's not losing to bums, man. Like he got decision by the champion, who's on the short list. He's on a collision course for not a collision course, but he's on a direct route to welterweight goat if he puts a couple more together. He strings a few more together. You know, GSP, like his resume is not. I'm saying it looks weak, but with each win that Usman gets against these contenders, it's going to look. His case is going to get stronger and stronger. I'll just put it like that. But anyway, Woodley, decision to Usman, decision to Burns, decision to Colby, choked out by Luque. That's not disgraceful. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it great? No. But guys have gone out a lot worse than that. But I'd like to see him go. I'd like to see him go, man. I just unfortunately, because Luque is not like he's ranked, because he is ranked, he's not gonna like fight down that much more. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I don't know. He's in a tough spot, and I would kind of just like to see him retire. There's no shame in it. He was champion. He defended his title multiple times against the legit number one contenders at the time. And one of them still active and doing good. And Wonder Boy, he dropped Wonder Boy twice, won those fights, but or draw and then a win. But yeah, man. So that was that was. I don't know if I say it's a tough loss for Woodley, but it's not like a disgraceful one at all. He fought valiantly. He went out on a shield. He stood in the phone booth with a guy that stands in the phone booth. Luque doesn't put on boring fights. Woodley had been put on some snoozers, but that one was a classic. Like, that one had shades of Marquardt. That one had shades of the Koscheck. That one had shades of the old Woodley that would just be like, you know what, motherfucker? See if you can take this right hand. You just fucking wing it, dude. See if you can take this fucking right hand. Like, that makes it exciting, man, because he does have that pepper. He does have that pepper on it. So that was a fun co-main event. Good to see the old version of Woodley. Woodley's like last stand. I think that was kind of Woodley's last stand. And damn it, I was that made me like, I used to be a Woodley fan, man. Then I kind of like falling in and out of love with being a fan of him, falling in and out of love and out of love with you, my fandom for Woodley. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was good to see the old version of Woodley, man. Well, boys, we got about 15 minutes left. Let's spend it talking about this old main event. Shall we? And that co-main event was the last bit of crow that I had to eat. So yeah, before we dive into it, big shout out to Vicente Luque. Yeah, I can't move on before I give this dude credit. He ate the Woodley went for it, man. He mashed on the gas, he swung for the fences, and he cracked Luque. I said that someone was going to cash in on that defense, that defensive vulnerability, and that his chin was on borrowed time. Excuse me. And I thought that Woodley was going to be the guy that was going to be able to cash in on it, but he wasn't. So credit, but I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I'm not going to move the goalpost. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, that was old Woodley. Nah, that's not the old Woodley. Blah blah blah. It's 39. Year old Woodley. Nah, that was the old version of Woodley. He still has that power. He cracked Luque. Luque's chin held up. I got to give him credit for, man. Vicente Luque has a fucking solid chin. He gets dropped sometimes, but he takes a licking and keeps on ticking. So I got to give him credit for that, man. Got to give him credit. He weathered the storm. He weathered the T-Wood bomb. And, dude, he landed some thunder of his own. And he hurt Woodley really fucking bad. Really bad. And put him away, dude. Gave him the tap and the nap. So a lot of credit to Vicente Luque. A lot of crow for me on that one. I will eat it happily. I was pleased with Tyron Woodley's effort and determination in that fight, and I was very pleased to see Luque prove that he's a real deal, man. I'm not going to let anybody shit on Luque and say that, oh, well, that's an old Woodley. That's just a shell of Woodley. Like, no. Woodley fought harder in that fight than he fought against Colby or Burns or Usman. He looked frozen in that Usman fight. Same with, Burns, he kind of went for it in like the 5th round. But Colby, it was just like, God, I don't know, man. It was weird. But that one, he went for it. That one, he said, you know what, fuck it. It was a great fight. It was a great fight. But, okay, main event time. Main event time, boys. Shout out to the 4 people in the building. Let me reload this thing. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the full 15 minutes. I agree. If it's like, even if it's for instance, the Thiago Santos and Jimmy Manuel fight, that didn't last but like not even 2 rounds, but it was so fucking exciting, so back and forth. That's a fight of the night to me. And that was an example of it too. Luque and Woodley. It didn't last very long, but they both hurt each other. It went back and forth. It was super competitive and it ended in a finish. Like, I feel like that's fight of the night worthy. So I agree with what you said. Fuck, what am I doing here? Okay. What am I doing here? Oh yeah. All right, main event time, boys. Main event time. Now, we all know what happened. We all know what he did. Yeah. Francis Ngannou. Motherfucking starches Stipe Miocic. Same here. Agreed. It's okay, man. Dude, it's okay. I bought it. Whose hype did I buy into last week? Whose hype did I buy into last week? Delize. I let myself buy into the Delize hype. I did it to myself. But yeah, let's do it, man. Let's talk about this main event. Oh yeah. We'll definitely. Oh yeah, we're gonna chop it up on that. We gonna chop it up on that one for sure. So Francis Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic. This was the rematch. Now keep in mind, this was not an immediate rematch. I want to talk about a couple of different things. This was not an immediate rematch. This was a rematch 3 fights after the first one. So with Stipe had the entire DC trilogy, and that's a couple 3 years in between this rematch. So just keep that in mind. The reason that I picked Francis Ngannou and I'm not gonna. I did pick this correctly. I did pick the method of victory correct, but I thought it would be a first round knockout, and I did not think that Francis Ngannou would have improved this much. Let me make that very clear. I'm not someone that said, "Oh, Francis is going to be so improved. Oh, he's going to be this, that, and the third." No, I said, I quote. You can ask Jack. You can ask anybody that was on the stream with me um, on Friday. I think it was Mills and the General. I think it was me, Mills, and homie Jack. I said, I think that Francis will more or less be the same fighter. Well, I could not have been more wrong about that because Francis was a much improved version of himself. He's a much improved version of the one that fought Stipe. And he said after the fight, Stipe brought the best out of him. And that's true. Because like Mad Dog just said, that takedown defense, man. Well, first of all, he started throwing the leg kicks. Oh, shout out to Brendan Dorman MMA. If you guys don't know who Brendan Dorman is, he is an MMA coach. And he does great. He has an awesome YouTube channel. He does great technical breakdowns alongside the video, like great video editing, always has good music, and very technical, probably the most technical striking breakdowns in particular. But well, I mean, he knows his jiu-jitsu and his wrestling too, so he's pretty fucking well-rounded in the technical breakdowns. But he did a great video where he really can do a better job of the technical explanations than I can. But yes, stuff the head, sprawl, block the arm, flow behind, then bring down to the mat. Yeah, mat returns, right? That's what they call that, mat return. So yeah. Now before that, Francis was landing some nasty low kicks, dude. Some nasty outside low kicks. And he did but yeah, Dorman broke this down too, but Francis did this nice triple jab right hand. But the first two jabs were to the head. The third jab was to the body. And he was doing that quite a bit in the first round, like going body head, low high. That kind of fucks with your opponent's defense and their timing and their anticipation and all that shit. So yeah, it was a triple jab right hand, but it was jab to the head, third jab to the body, right hand over the top, and he cracked Stipe. And Stipe said, "Oh shit, yeah, I think it's going to be time for me to shoot for this takedown, pretty much in the next minute or so." And that's about what he did. In the next, the next minute and a half, Stipe did a good reactive takedown, single leg, but Francis's takedown was so much improved, dude. Like Mad Dog said, he stuffed the head. He kind of it was almost like he did almost a guillotine. Like he almost kind of half went for a guillotine with one of his hooks. But he stuffed the head, sprawled out, deep sprawl, pushed the head down. Then did that when he sprawled, he did the what is it, the body lock, the underneath body lock, where he had his hands and he locked his hands underneath, like basically on Stipe's chest. And then what do they call that when he moved around? Is there a technical term for when he moved around to side control and started landing started landing those punches? Is there a technical term for that when he sprawled and did when he locked his arms underneath and sprawled and then scooted around to side control? Is there a technical move for that? I know fucking dick about technical terms for wrestling. I said, I used to fucking some of my good friends are high school wrestlers. I've been fucking horsing around, and I've gotten a couple fist fights with wrestlers before too, but I don't know any of their fucking technical shit. It's I don't know. Floating. We always call him floating. So yeah, he sprawls out, locks does the underneath body lock, then he floats around, bada bing, bada boom, starts cracking him. I thought the fight was going to be over there. I thought it was going to be over right then and there. So did a lot of people. They're like, "Holy shit, this is it. This is the new version of Francis," but it is, and it is. But Stipe, and I got to give the dude credit. You know, this is like any things I say on Twitter and all that shit. It's not meant to shit on Stipe, man. It's like, I get frustrated with some of the like more some of the more immature, and this is not Stipe fans. This is like the ridiculous, like, stan boys, like they want to shit on Francis, and like, this is who I'm addressing here. I'm not talking about Stipe. There's a lot of very cool, respectful Stipe fans. But um Stipe, I gotta give Stipe credit, dude. He took a lot of those heavy punches that would just straight up knock a lot of people out. But that's a scary version of Francis, man. But yeah, very much improved takedown defense, improved wrestling overall. I think I saw someone tweeted that he was training with Alir Latifi, who's a really good fucking wrestler. So yeah, Francis done been working on his wrestling. He done been working on that wrestling, Bobo. And he's ready to rock and roll. Stipe's a good fucking wrestler. Stipe's a good wrestler. Anyway, so after that, I noticed I just watched this fight before I did the stream. After that, after he stuffed that takedown, and then he did. Oh yeah, yeah. So he's cracking him with that shit. Then he gets the fucking mat return, right? Then he gets the fucking mat return, starts cracking him. And then after that, dude, Stipe didn't do fuck all. He didn't do fucking dick after that. He was on his bike. He was stood there. He like feinted a couple things. He like threw a low kick, or it was like I can't say this is a low kick or a teep or something, but he didn't do shit after that. He said, "Oh, the bed, holy shit, holy shit for that baby." Because he didn't throw much of anything. Francis, and to be fair, Francis didn't throw a whole lot after that, but he established like, no, I am much improved in my grappling and wrestling, and I'm still Francis Ngannou. So yeah, that's how the first round ended, right? First round, definitely a Francis round, 10-9 on pretty much everyone on the face of the earth scorecards, right? Now, now, nice. Says wrestling is my sport, brother. That's tight. That's tight, Bo. Yeah. I would say if I had a sport, it would be a combat sport, it would be karate do. Although I love boxing. I just don't have as much training or experience. I have like 6 months boxing training. I have like probably 4 or 5 years total of Shotokan training. So karate's my sport, my combat sport. But yeah, yeah, wrestling is awesome. Wrestling is about the strongest base you can have to build off of in MMA. Walking back to his corner, dude, he knew, man. He was like, "Fuck, dude." He was like, "That dude." He's like, "That dude's wrestling's better." He's like, "God damn it." Yeah, it's like, what do you think? Like, dude? Like, fuck. Like, it's got it. Like, Stipe is a firefighter, and he's like, I mean, he's cold as ice, man. Stipe's cold as ice, but he's got to be thinking like, he's probably pissed. He's like, "God damn it." He's like, "Fuck, dude." He's probably pissed. I think he was pissed. Move to 205 with the DC trilogy and not move up. I mean, it was weird that he was so light against Ngannou. Like, I understand he wants to be lighter and like more physically agile. Like, yeah, I think it just that kind of hurt him. It was just easier for Francis to defend the takedown and easier for Francis because like Francis isn't 263 pounds. He's not like a fucking Jake Collier, no disrespect, or one of those guys. Like, no, he's 263 pounds of fucking twisted steel and drop your bony butt to the curb appeal. Like, he will body slam you so hard that you will poop your bald pants. Like, he is a fucking monster. And yeah, like, and he got better at wrestling. The general's in the building. Sup, general? ¿Qué onda? ¿Cómo estás, hermano? How are you, my friend? How are you, my brother? He had no shot besides the gassing guy. Yeah, he really didn't do anything for the rest of that round. Now, let's talk about the second round and let's talk about this finish. And then I got to hop off here because this Hogs game about to start, boys. This old Hogs game about to start. Razorbacks trying to go to the Final Four, boys. Hogs haven't been this good. The Razorbacks have not been this good at college basketball since 1995. I think that was the last year we went this far. Yeah, because we won the championship in 94, and then we went to the finals in 95. So this is the last time we've been to the Elite Eight with a chance to go to the Final Four in, 21 years. No, 26 years. 26 years. I'm a fucking idiot. I can't even do basic arithmetic in my head, dude. That's how bad I am at fucking math, man. Terrible. Terrible. Much better at English. Much better at language skills than I am at numbers. I see numbers. Dude, if there's a number in a letter or if there's a number in a weird place, like not on like the regular line, like above or below the numbers and the letters, dude, my eyes just cross and I just like I'm just a dummy. Just a dummy. I know a little bit of algebra and that's about it. I had to do remedial math like in college. And I took it and I was like, okay, I understand this now. This is great. I did good. Like it was like a pass fail course. I passed it. I was like, okay, I understand this now. It's like basic algebra. I was like, yeah, I know algebra. And fucking dude, math. Nah. That was kind of when I knew like, yeah, I'm pretty much not gonna just like I'm not gonna get like a regular college degree. I'm not gonna finish college. Like I can't do the math. Anyway, yeah, let's talk about the second round, man. Let's talk about the second round. Now, the finishing sequence from Ngannou was incredible. What he did was he threw a right cross, and as he was moving forward, it was almost a jab, and like his leg was. It was kind of like a cross between a jab and a cross, a mix between a jab and a cross, because as he threw the left hand, his right leg was moving forward. Like as he started to throw it, his feet were kind of like square, and then his right leg moved forward. So like when it landed, it had that like it was kind of pretty much a left cross from southpaw, and it dropped Stipe, put him right on his ass. Credit to Stipe for surviving that. He hopped back up, but what happened was he gets back up, he circles out, and then as Ngannou is pursuing him, he hits Ngannou and kind of like stuns him a little bit. And I think DC pointed it out. That was kind of Stipe's fatal flaw, man. That's kind of where Stipe fucked up, because what he should have been doing was just getting the fuck on his bike. But credit to Stipe for fighting valiantly. Again, kind of like Woodley, kind of went out on a shield. Because what happened was he gets back up, he circles out, Ngannou pursues. He cracks Ngannou with a right hand, and Ngannou stays there. And as Stipe starts to throw a left hook, Ngannou intercepts it with his own check left hook, and that's the one that did the fool on Stipe. It was a really nice check left hook from Ngannou, right on the chin. This time, and what I pointed out before from the first fight, which was different from the first fight, when Ngannou hit him in the first fight, he was on the back foot. He was moving backwards, and he was on one foot basically when he threw that right hook, and kind of like there's like a gif of it out there where like he just rocks the Stipe from side to side. Like, how did Stipe survive that? Well, it was because he was on one leg moving backwards. This time, he's in the pocket, standing his ground and actually moving forward. He intercepted Stipe's left hook with his own check left hook, and the power that Francis possesses, man, it's just, and he has good boxing technique. He made Stipe do a backflip basically. Like Stipe's left leg, Stipe like pointed his left foot backwards. That's how little control he had over his own body. He pointed his left leg backwards and tried to do a backflip. And I really think that he was out with that first punch. Now, what I wanted to say about someone mentioned earlier about the Herb Dean thing. I think it was Noah. If it was someone else, forgive me. I think it was Noah. Like, Stipe was out with that first punch. And Herb, like, okay, this is the only thing that Herb could have done differently. This is the only thing that Herb Dean could have done differently. Jumped on Francis Ngannou's back. Literally like a fucking like little kid. Or like something out of a movie where like, you know, the smaller like hero like jumps on the big like henchman's back or something. You know, that's the only thing he could have done. Because Stipe was out and Herb literally like jumped on Stipe like in a panic, like, Francis, stop it! God, no! Stop hitting him! Like that's basically what it was like. Like he like ran over there, like Joe, like stop it, please, God, he's unconscious. You know, like I can't knock Herb for that one, dude. Like it was. There's not short of literally like jumping on Francis' back. Stop it, Francis! Like short of like straight like Wesley from Princess Bride style, like jumping on his back like Andre the Giant, like strangling him from behind. He could not have gotten to him any quicker. So yeah, I can't shit on Herb for that one. Yeah, really good game. Bien y tú, bien, 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 amigo. Math makes sense until calculus. Then, yeah, just I don't know. There's someone smarter than me. Just do it. You just do it, man. Just tell me the answer. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Smartphones eliminate the need for math. Quite right. Quite right, my good man. It was kind of yeah, yeah. Darren McFadden. I agree, my good friend. I agree. Um, so McFadden got there. I was at Arkansas when Matt Jones was the quarterback. Matt Jones was a quarterback when I was there in '02. McFadden was there after I left. So I wasn't going to Fayetteville when McFadden was there, but yeah, he's definitely the best running back. We were running kind of running back you, man. Running back and tight end you know, Hunter Henry from Arkansas. But yeah, man. Oh yeah, Felix Jones, man. Dude, that combo of him of McFadden and Jones was nasty. Nasty McFarsty. But yeah, that's the only way. Like, dude, just like literally like hop on his back, you know, like tackle him. But if he has to get if his priority if they say and they train people, no, you have to get in front of the fighter that's being hit. There's nothing else he could have done. There's nothing else he could have done. Yeah, I know, man. He's such a homer. Yeah, I mean, Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson were literally college roommates at Arkansas and fucking like then they both played on the team that won the national championship. Last national championship Arkansas ever won. Might have been the only one we ever won, but it's certainly the last one. But yeah, yeah, Jera, man, he did Jimmy Johnson so dirty, dude. Jimmy John. Anyway, I don't want to get too off track, but yeah, I'm a dirty rotten Cowboys fan, boys. What can I say, man? It's just hey, if you're from Arkansas, you gotta make a choice. You're either Cowboys fan, Saints fan. I ain't gonna be no fucking Saints fan. I ain't gonna be no fucking Oilers fan. It was Oilers at the time, but no, I was a Cowboys fan. I remember those Super Bowls when I was a kid. Troy Aikman was one of my childhood heroes, one of my childhood sports heroes. Troy Aikman. But anyway, Anyhow, yeah. So Ngannou and Stipe. So he was out with the first punch. The follow punch was not needed, but Herb got there as quick as he could. Like I said, he was like he jumped on Stipe like with a lot of concern. So yeah, but Stipe is the new champion, man. I did call Ngannou by knockout, but I did not foresee the improvements that Ngannou made to his takedown defense, to his wrestling in general. And thank you for Mad Dog. Like I said, the floating that he did, the sprawling, just defending like the whole defense of the single leg, controlling the head, sprawling, getting the lock, floating, uh, getting moving to the back and getting the body lock and the mat return himself, the trip, that outside trip. Um, it was awesome, man. Awesome shit from Ngannou. He is your new UFC champion. Now, the reason that I picked, like I said, the reason that I picked Ngannou was I was fading Stipe. Because I just want to talk about Stipe briefly. I'll always have mad respect for Stipe Miocic. He, to me, is the heavyweight GOAT. So what does that make Francis? I can see that Stipe is the heavyweight GOAT. What does that make Francis, though? I'll say that. I'll just throw that question out there. It's rhetorical. You don't have to answer. It's rhetorical. But the reason I did not foresee any of that from Francis. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, dude. See, I knew Francis would be better at wrestling. I knew Francis. No. I thought that Francis, and I quote, you can quote me on this. I said Francis will be more or less the same fighter. I was wrong about that. So now, Ngannou's your champion. I feel like it's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for the heavyweight division. There's going to be some real exciting matchups. There's some younger contenders on the come up. We're going to see some good matchups. We're going to see some fresh blood start to ascend and start to separate themselves from the pack. We're already starting to kind of see that with Cyril Gahn and Tom Aspinall. So there's some really good matchups for Stipe. But let me back to Stipe real quick. I think that Stipe needs to retire. I understand if you're a Stipe fan. I understand you wanting the trilogy fight. I understand from a meritocracy standpoint, he probably deserves the trilogy fight. That's a very fair argument to make. Now, let me just counter that. For one, I don't know if you guys saw that fight or not, but Stipe just got knocked the fuck out. That wasn't a stoppage. That was unconscious knockout and a follow-up punch. So, thus and so. Stipe is probably going to be medically suspended for at least 45 days, probably 60, possibly 60, probably like 45, 30 to 45 days. That's no contact. That's 1 to 2 months where he can't even do shit, let alone have a camp. Number 2, Stipe, and I understand Stipe did not give Ngannou a rematch, immediate rematch. Ngannou did not deserve an immediate rematch. He got dominated. Stipe dominated Ngannou in the first fight. So, from a meritocracy standpoint, Ngannou did not necessarily deserve an immediate rematch. Still, Stipe went and fought DC 3 times. He did a trilogy with DC that spanned a couple years. Now, he gives Ngannou the rematch. Ngannou knocks him the fuck out. You say, okay, well, hey, 1-1, Stipe deserves a rematch. It's a logical train of thought. Let me tell you why it's a really, really fucking bad idea. If you're a Stipe fan, to be calling for that. And this is kind of what I was going back to, and the reason I faded him is This is the reason that I picked Ngannou. I didn't think that Francis would be as improved as he was, but what I did see when I watched that first Francis Ngannou and Stipe fight, and then I watched Stipe versus Daniel Cormier 3, Stipe looked noticeably slower. And he looked noticeably slower in this fight as well. And another 6 months to a year, he's going to be even more slower. You do not get faster as you get older. You get slower and your reflexes get slower. You don't get faster, it doesn't work that way. You get slower. So I'm saying earlier, Father Time is undefeated. Also, damage accumulates negatively. Every time you get knocked out, it is easier for you to get knocked out again and again and again. You can do things to mitigate that. You can do things to improve your defense. You can do things to improve your distance management, all of that. But when it comes down to actually just being able to take the clean punch on the chin, damage accumulates negatively. Stipe will be older. This is why I picked him and got him in this fight, because I knew Stipe was going to be older. I knew he was going to be slower, and I knew he was going to be less durable. Cormier knocked him out in the first fight, and then he couldn't knock him out and hit him with clean shots. He couldn't knock him out for another 2 fights. But hey, he fought the first fight with Francis. Francis cracked him a couple 2 times. Cormier sleeps him 6 months later. He fought Cormier right after that first Francis fight. Cormier sleeps him. Cormier couldn't sleep him 2 fights after that. He fights Francis again, gets slept. So to me, that tells me Francis kind of unscrewed the lid, started to crack. He cracked the seal and he unscrewed the lid. Is what that tells me. Francis just has a different kind of power, and Francis will still be the younger fighter. He'll be even more improved, and I just can't possibly see how you could think there's going to be anything different that happens. Like, I understand if you're a Stipe fan wanting the get back. It's natural. It's natural to want that. But, man, if you care about that guy's well-being and him being able to, like, spend time with us, like, let's be real about it, man. I love Stipe. He's a good dude. He's a fucking family man. He's a legit hero. Like, he's a firefighter. He's a fucking very honorable champion. Like, you can say he's the heavyweight GOAT, and I have no problem with that. I'll even concede that. But, man, he's already started to show some early signs of CTE. Let's just be fucking real. Can we all keep it real at the same time? Stipe before this fight was already starting to show some signs of CTE. And I'll tell you what, man, you do not want to take another molly-whopping like that from Ngannou. That's not good for a 39-year-old man. It's just not, man. I think it's time to call it. Stipe should not have taken this fight. Stipe should have retired. He won the trilogy with DC, man. He didn't have anything to prove. So I just don't I don't get it, dude. I don't what is the point? You don't have anything to prove, man. Oh, I respect the shit out of Stipe. I wouldn't call myself a Stipe fan, but I respect the fuck out of the dude. I just don't this is the writings. Goddamn, boys, the writings on the wall. Ngannou will be 35, Stipe will be 39. You know? I don't know. That's just what I think. That's what I think. Nice, dude. That's awesome. That's tight. Yeah, exactly. And no one gives a fuck about Mark Smith, fucking just okay, Sean, here you go. Here, literally, Mark Smith was like, finish him. I was like, okay, bro, I will. I definitely. I was like, okay, Braj, I definitely will. I definitely will. Go enjoy the game. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm about to hit it here in a second. Stipe had wars after his Ngannou fight, and Francis fought less than 3. Yeah, exactly. That was another reason, exactly. And I said that in my stream too. I was like, man, Not only is he going to be, that's 3 years later, and I can tell you from personal experience, like you just get, there's not that much of a difference from like 32 to 35, but the difference from 35 to 38 is a lot. And it just gets exponentially just worse and worse. So yeah, I think for Stipe, man, it's just time. Just call it a career, Bubba. Like you got nothing to be ashamed of. Like getting everyone gets knocked out by Ngannou except Lewis, and because he fought scared, you know. So I don't know. I feel like and for the record, I know there's only one person here right now, but shout out to the I think there were 6 people in here at one point. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to the people that've been hanging around. Y'all, this shit. This was an impromptu thing. I wanted to be better prepared, but I did this on my phone. So shout out to you guys for sticking with me. But yeah, just one last thing on Stipe. Like I don't I want that dude to like just go. He's set financially. I just want him to go have a happy like life with his family. He's a family man. Like he has a beautiful wife and he has kids. And it's just I don't want to see him get in there to try and prove I can win this. And the fighter in him will want to do it, but it's like, come on, man. Like what's gonna happen. Like you're gonna get brutally slept again, and everyone's just gonna be sad again. It's just like, come on, dude. Just you had a career. You should have called it a career after you had 3 wars with DC, one in which you got knocked out. Like that should have been it. But it is what it is. Who am I to tell fucking generally consider the heavyweight goat what to do? But if I was him, that's what I would do, man. If I was him, that's what I would do. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, please don't, man. Saw, dude. Yep, general in the building. It did, man. He really did. Like he those. It wasn't like those DC fights were one sided. Even the ones that he won, he had to make adjustments in the second one to come back and start going to the body in the fourth round to win it. Because I think you can make a fair argument that DC won the first 3 rounds of that second fight. And the third fight, it was another like DC was landing some big shots in the beginning. Like Stipe had to he had to take a lot of punishment from Daniel Cormier. And Daniel Cormier ain't pill fisted. Like he's not like a one punch, usually a one punch sleep your ass. And that's why I kind of think Francis, like, he took damage in that first Francis fight that people didn't want to acknowledge at all. Like they were like, oh, he's Steve. I mean, and he did, like he didn't hit him a lot, but the ones he did, man, he fucking rocked him. And then he fights Cormier 5 or 6 months later and gets totally slept. I don't know, man. Cormier, I mean, other than Bigfoot, Cormier's never slept anybody like that. You know, even Ozdemir, he kind of stopped him, but Cormier doesn't usually have power like that. And DC, I mean, Stipe had only been knocked out like the one other time by Struve. Before that, Cormier was a second knockout loss. So it just kind of made me wonder. I was like, did Francis have something to do with that? Him fighting like DC so soon after he fought Francis? It just kind of made me think. Like I didn't want to look too far into that, but it's kind of like, thinking emoji. But yeah, I definitely think after it was another reason that I picked him. I was like, I faded Stipe because he was going to be older, he was going to be slower, and he was going to be less durable after those 3 wars with DC. And I mean, if that's the case, if that holds true, if that held true, and that was one of the reasons that, goddamn, it's just going to be even worse now. He's going to be he's going to be even older. He's going to be even slower. He's going to be even less durable. And you're fighting a guy that made adjustments from the first fight that you fought him. You're not going to be faster. You're pretty much going to be the same fighter. Francis showed that he's still improving. So it's a scary proposition for Stipe. I don't feel like he needs to take the trilogy. I feel like, he's had multiple title defenses. He's a very honorable champion. He's an awesome fighter. He's a good person. He's a firefighter. He's a hero. He's an American badass. He's beloved, man. Like there's no shame in calling it a career, but that's what I would do if I was him. But who the fuck am I? I'm just a little fucking 2 cents here, but yep, new age, man. New age for sure. But all right, boys. Well, I'm gonna go watch this Arkansas game. Big shout out to you guys. Mad Dog, appreciate your wrestling insight, your wrestling knowledge. I really do appreciate that. Helping me articulate some of this shit a little bit better. Noah, appreciate you stopping through as always. The General, bien. Adios, amigo. Mañana. Hopefully manana. Um, but yeah, Mad Dog Noah, El General, Nick Alexander. Salute to my Aussie buddy. My Aussie bro, yeah. Salute to the land down under, Nick Alexander. Salute to Jamie Malarkey. Had to eat the crow on that. Had to eat the crow on Tyron Woodley, but I was glad that Woodley went out of Shield. Same with Stipe, man. Can do nothing but respect it. Um, but yeah, it's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for heavyweight boys. And Francis Ngannou is your new champion. I did call that one, so that one felt pretty good. But I have nothing but respect for Stipe, and that was cool to see Ngannou have that little exchange with him where he said, he said thank you. He's like, you bring the best out in me, and yeah, so that was cool. Um, so yeah, boys, I appreciate everyone that came through and chopped it up with me today. I will. I guess since this went okay, I'll do this tomorrow, even if I can't get even if I can't get the Wi-Fi set up. I will come back. I should have it set up though. I should have my whole setup tomorrow. But even if not, I'll come back on the phone and do another stream. But y'all are the shit. Appreciate you once again. And yeah, I'm gonna go watch this. Hey, woo pig. I ain't gonna do the whole. I'm not gonna call the Hogs because that's just obnoxious. I'm not gonna do. For a non-Hogs fan, it's obnoxious. But yeah, woo pig, suey baby. We gonna try and beat Baylor. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Y'all are the shit. Much love, much respect. Congrats to Francis Ngannou. Congrats to Vicente Luque. Congrats to Sean O'Malley. Congrats to all the other winners. Alonzo Minifield for getting that awesome Von Prue. And everybody else, man. Jamie Malarkey getting that sweet knockout. But yeah, thank you guys. It's been just my 2 cents. And I will hopefully holler at y'all manana. Peace.